Hi, this is VJ Slate with Stop Smoking, Stay Quit. Today we're going to talk about nicotine dependence. Now, nicotine is a natural chemical found in the tobacco leaf, and the tobacco farmer grows the tobacco plant. When they harvest it, they put it in these big barns to dry it out, and then they chop it up, they roll it into a cigarette, and it comes in a pack, and you stick it in your mouth and take a light. Now, there are 600 chemicals in the tobacco leaf, and yet when you burn it, that creates about 7,000 chemicals. About 69 of them are cancer-causing, some of them are poisonous, and then some don't cause cancer, but they're cancer-promoting. So there's a lot of bad stuff in that cigarette. And so you'd think with all that bad stuff, why would anybody smoke? But it has to do with the nicotine. Now, the nicotine's not what's going to kill you, it's everything else. It's the carbon monoxide, it's the tar, it's the arsenic, it's all the cancer-causing substances. But when you light a cigarette, do you remember that very first cigarette? Got dizzy, lightheaded, but you kept it up? Well, it takes about 10 seconds or about 10 heartbeats for that nicotine to get from your lips to your brain. And the tobacco companies have actually manipulated that nicotine so that it's a free base form. So it passes the blood-brain barrier into your brain very, very quickly. Now, inside your brain, there's a big chemical soup in there. And there's a very specific receptor. It's called an alpha-4 beta-2 nicotinic acetylcholine receptor. You don't need to remember that. Just remember there's a very specific receptor. And when nicotine fits into this receptor, it's like a key fits into a lock. And when it fits in there, what it does is it releases a flood of dopamine. And dopamine is the, I feel good, da, 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 I feel good, da, 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 da. Boy, your brain just lights up on this dopamine. It really likes this stuff. And so what it does is your brain creates a whole lot more of those alpha-4 beta-2 nicotinic acetylcholine receptors. If you look at a brain scan of a smoker versus a non-smoker, they have a whole lot more of these receptors in their brain. And so when we talk about building up a tolerance to a drug, maybe you've heard like if somebody uses heroin, they need to use more and more and more and more of it to get the same high. Well, smokers don't do that. You don't smoke a pack of cigarettes a day and then have to go to a pack and a half and then 2 packs. Well, that's because you have a whole lot more receptors in your brain, and your brain soaks up more of the nicotine from that cigarette. Now, throughout the day, you unconsciously regulate the amount of nicotine that you smoke. That very first cigarette that you ever smoked, got dizzy, lightheaded, that was a nicotine overdose. Now, your body remembers that, and so you never smoke enough that you go into that. Now, sometimes if you're having a night out partying stuff and you wake up the next morning, you might have a nicotine hangover where you did smoke too much, but that's out of the ordinary. But your body compensates. But that I feel good sensation doesn't last very long. The half-life of nicotine is very quick. Nicotine leaves your body it's totally out of your body within 3 to 5 days. Now, most people think, well, as soon as it's out of your body, the withdrawals are over. But that's when your body craves it the most because there is no nicotine. It's wanting to know, where's my I feel good sensation? Now, what happens is your brain's not used to this tremendous amount of dopamine, and it's like the music goes on too loud, so it puts earmuffs on. And now you stop smoking and you go back to the normal amount of dopamine, but your body is used to having earmuffs on, so this is why some people can get depressed when they quit smoking. Now, there's a lot of withdrawal symptoms that happen when you quit smoking. You get irritable, you get angry, frustrated, your cravings for food increase, insomnia, and there's a lot of things you can do for that. For suggestions on how to handle withdrawal cravings, check out my book, How to Win at Quitting Smoking. It's available at Amazon.com under the bookseller, Stop Smoking, Stay Quit. Have a joyful, smoke-free day.